This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged, the podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Well, hello, Pat Calamari here, the host of Pat Soundbites Unplugged. It is Music News Monday, the madness, January 6, 2020, the first music news episode of my podcast for this year. And I gotta say, I truly can't thank you all enough for downloading my chats, following my podcast, my episodes, and much more. I'm having a blast, and I know there's more excitement to come this year. Already working on a lot of projects with a lot of folks, going to more live interviews at the venues if we can work things out. I am fortunate to live in New York, and I'm surrounded by great venues, and artists are always popping in here in New York, so I am certainly blessed. Please continue to support me. Listen, share, tell your friends. Pat Soundbites Unplugged, also on Twitter, also on Facebook. And don't forget WBXO, classic rock redefined. I'm a rock guy, I'm a blues guy, and I'm on Sunday nights doing my best, keeping new music alive on the radio airwaves, which is certainly a radio rarity in today's world. So, enough of me chatting right now about that. Time to kick off some rock Music News Monday. And as that guide in keeping new music alive on the radio airways, I wanted to talk about the abundance of new music on the horizon for 2020. What band has started off by chatting about the Foo Fighters? If you follow the band, or Dave in particular, he has posted a few pictures on his social media, and one picture appears to be of a hot tub with a mic tripod stand in the middle of it. Picture 2 is a drum kit on top of a staircase of what appears to be either someone's home or a studio. And if you click on the picture, you would actually hear some drumming. Now, the new album is scheduled to be out sometime in 2020. The Foos really haven't done too much, I would say middle of last year and the end of the year of 2019. So they've had some time to work on a new album. I don't have the specifics yet, but I am always interested in seeing what the Foo Fighters put out musically. Next is the Dead Daisies. You know the Dead Daisies. Dean, Dave, Doug. Well, it was John and Marco, but now the newest member is Glenn Hughes. Yes, Glenn Hughes, Deep Purple, White Snake Days. Glenn was just on tour doing a little Glenn Hughes, Deep Purple stuff. Well, it appears John Corabi, who was the lead singer, and Marco Mendoza, who was on bass, have decided to move on, thus opening up this vacancy and bringing in the voice of rock, Mr. Glenn Hughes, to cover the role of lead singer and bass. Now, as I follow the band on social media, and I got a chance to meet Glenn, and I've interviewed Glenn a handful of times, I can tell you they have spent time in a recording studio this last November and December in France, and they are excited about this new sound and new album. So it's scheduled to be officially released in February. I got my fingers crossed, and I'm excited. Fingers crossed for an interview with, I've interviewed Glenn a bunch of times. I guess I would like to interview Glenn just to see how excited he is joining these cool guys, this great band, and see where it goes. But we'll see what happens. Now, speaking of the Dead Daisies, a side supergroup that includes Dean and Doug, and then if you add rocker Jack Blades, Night Ranger Jack Blades, Damn Yankees Jack Blades, Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades, you get Revolution Saints. And oh my God, they're going to be releasing their third album entitled Rise. It's due out on January 24th. And I love this band, and it's just too bad due to all the logistics that they just can't find the time to go on tour. But man, great music. I mean, I just played on my radio show yesterday on the Pat Show on WBXO, When the Heartache Is Gone, and the song is awesome. It rocks, and they already have a video out. And the cool part about this band is really Dean, as the drummer, takes, the lead on vocals. And Dean, he played lead vocals a little bit with Journey. He's got a great voice, and it gives Jack kind of a back seat. Jack doing a lot of the vocals on Night Ranger, and it's a change for Jack, but man, he fits right in. You add Doug Ulrich on guitar, and he has those killer riffs, and you get a great band entitled Revolution Saints. And again, another interview awaits. I am excited to see what comes out. There are a bunch of other bands I can tell you that we anticipate new albums from, and one I heard, Breaking Benjamin, Aurora. It's already has a name. It's due out on January 24th. They're going to be checking that out. Green Day got a new album out due on February 7th. Excuse my French. Father of all motherfuckers. Yikes. I don't know if I can say that on the radio, but I can say it here on my podcast. And they're hoping to get on the top Billboard 200, just as their most recent release, Revolution Radio, did rather well, I would say. Ozzy, as I mentioned, give credit to Post Malone. I had no idea what was going on with this. Post Malone, Take What You Want, gets Ozzy on board and shakes Ozzy up because he decides, I got to put out a new album. And Ozzy, hasn't released a solo album in about a decade. And he found new energy and inspiration with hanging out with Post Malone. And now he's got tunes. He named the album Ordinary Man, which probably arrived in the first few months of 2020. Also due out, rumor is Pearl Jam. Before they rocked the world, before they toured the world in 2018, Pearl Jam released a new single, Can't Deny Me, which was out, I want to say, March or April of last year. Word is on the street they're working on their 11th full-length album, and we shall see. The Killers, Imploding the Mirage. The Las Vegas band looking to get out their 6th full-length album. Comes 3 years after Wonderful Wonderful, which became their first to reach number one on the Billboard 200. So there you have it. There's a few, and there's more out there, I'm sure, and I'll be touching upon. I also want to touch upon the stadium tour. Joan Jett, Poison, Def Leppard, Motley Crue. I guess Vince is really working out. I guess they're really excited. There are, now 9 shows sold out. Add Boston Fenway Park to the mix. So that's Charlotte, Dallas, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Detroit, Chicago, Denver, and Seattle. Now, you got to, when they put this all out there during the holiday seasons and Christmas, it's kind of tough for folks to go out and buy tickets. But who knew? I got to tell you, man, I got to take my hat off to these guys. I didn't expect any sellout. The fastest sellout in Milwaukee at Miller Park in Wisconsin for the August 18th show. I guess it holds a seating capacity of 42,000, but it sold out. And they were just waiting to see how the tickets would go, and boom, they put out another 9 shows starting now. What used to be Miami on July 7th. Now it's going to start on June 21st in San Antonio. Now, my little source tells me that there are going to be other shows coming out. And I'm hearing June 13th, MetLife Stadium in New Jersey for the folks here in the New York, Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area, besides Citi Field in Queens on August 23rd, which would make sense. It just makes sense. There's having one show here in this area, I don't see it. But I could be wrong, but I'm hearing June 13th at MetLife. We shall see. Hey, I hope you enjoy what I put out there. Please share, please listen, please follow, send me your comments. Always looking forward to hearing what you're doing, what shows you're going to, what excites you for 2020. Don't forget the Pat Show, WBXO, Classic Rock. Although I do rock, I do blues. We're classicrock.com. We're Classic Rock Redefined, which means I can play anything. And I have an all request hour from 7 to 8. If there's a particular song you want to hear, put it on my Facebook page. Let me know, and I'll do my best to get it out there. If it's a birthday, it's a holiday, it's an anniversary, whatever I can do to help you. It's all about the listeners. We are WBXO. We're Classic Rock Redefined, and my job, what I love to do, is keeping new music alive on the radio airwaves. That's about it for Music News Madness Monday for January 6th. As always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short. See you soon.